Good morning. So, once you start passing over into the new world, it's really important to allow yourself time to anchor yourself there. The passage is it's a very delicate process. So, as you are on the spiritual awakening, at some point you start passing over into the new world, which is the Eden, the Garden of Eden here in this existence. And it's very easy because there is such a um, dense, because the masses are at such a dense vibration, and because we cannot completely disconnect from the matrix, we are dependent on the matrix. It's easy to be pulled back down into those denser vibrations. So once we start rising, we have to kind of create around us a harmonious surroundings. We kind of have to make sure to always stay aware as we're passing through so that we can anchor ourselves in the new energy, anchor ourselves into the new world, into the higher vibrations. And that means kind of like creating a protective realm around our energy, a protective. It kind of reminds me of going back again to when Yeshua or Jesus went into the wilderness for 40 days and for 40 nights. And it kind of reminds me of that. It's kind of like you have to go into this place of solitude, into this place where you are with your own vibration and you are holding that peace, holding the vibration of peace and harmony, um, for it to be able to anchor into becoming a new reality so that you become so strong in that knowing and in that vibration. Um, I was speaking about in an earlier video how there's fluctuations in this process of the spiritual awakening. As we're rising, we keep on coming back. We keep on fluctuating, so we can rise to a new high, and then we slip back down into the old vibration, the old dense way of thinking, thoughts that are limiting thoughts. And this serves as kind of like a spring. It's like a push-off point. It's kind of like, yeah, it's the spiral. You have to, um, like, in order to ground these new beliefs, you have to keep going back and checking the old beliefs, new beliefs, old beliefs, new beliefs. It's kind of like bouncing off, like you would see a ball bouncing back and forth as it rises. And so as we come into this new portal, it is um, the new world is such a different vibration. It's a completely different dimension. It's a parallel dimension, and it's like you get this rite of passage as you purify yourself and as you remove all these dense vibrations and dense beliefs or psychological, you can call it whatever you want. You take out whenever you release your demons, release your falsities, come back into purity. As you become into righteousness, you gain this rite of passage. And it's kind of like you're going through this portal into a completely different dimension that is on this same platform using the exact same physical world. But you, in your mindset or in your spirituality, you are sitting in a completely different place. And in this place, all of the dimensions that you have passed through, it's like every time you pass through a dimension, it means that you complete that stage. You already see through it. And as you rise and as you come into these other dimensions, all of the other dimensions are apparent to you. So you can see all of the densities up to where you are at. It's like shedding, um, it's almost like feels like shedding matter. It's shedding. And as you shed, you can see what you shed because you worked through all of these psychological inhibitors. You worked through all of these, you worked through your own pain. You've worked through your own spiritual rising. And we work on archetypes. There's certain patterns of behavior that each and every one of us have, And some of us have some of them to some degrees, and some of us have other ones to other degrees. But in order to communicate back and forth, we all have parts of them. That's how we can recognize them in others, because we have the same mechanisms. Our ego, you say we're at the soul level, is pure essence. It's pure divine essence of God, pure love, a complete non-physical being that is only an experiencer. It doesn't even collect thoughts. It just experiences. It watches everything, and it is the experiencer. It is in constant awe. It is in constant wow. But it's in every moment is renewed, renewed, renewed. There is no collection of thought. There is no um, passing judgment on anything. It's only a viewer. It's the soul level is completely let go and non-attached to anything. It is in the moment, in each moment, continuous, constant. It doesn't gather information. It doesn't judge anything. And then we have under that, we have the ego, which the ego, and I've talked about this before, I know, but it's kind of relevant here. So the ego is the gatherer of information. The ego is like you could say like a container that is able to, okay, there's the perceiver, and this gathers the thoughts and collects them and makes memories out of them and passes judgment so that we can have this life experience. And the ego is like our ultimate container for having this life experience. It is what collects all the thoughts. So when this body dies, the ego dies with the body, and all the collection of everything goes with it. But we have, as we've gone through and collected all of these thoughts and all of these assessments that we've made and judgments that we've made, we have expanded knowledge in the universe, because we're constantly reflecting, influencing, and receiving information. So as we go in humanity, our job is to we receive and we filter information through us, and we perceive, receive information, and then we influence with our information. That's why the matrix is this big ball of influence and influencers. And that's why like a collective consciousness is created through this reflection and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's all of these people together creating this big entity, this entity of society, of the way things should be and the way things are and the way things, this big belief system, this big consensus of how things should be. And you see that in every country, because there is division, there are walls around the country that every country, the consensus is different. The way that people live, the way that people believe there should be, within each religion is different. Between each country is different. There's like a consensus of the whole, which is like this big archetype, this big complex archetype, which is like an entity. It's an entity of its own, right? That everybody, whether they know that they are or not, that's why it's a lot of times they speak of unconscious, like the unconscious collective, because you don't even know that you're doing it. You're so far in it. Even during the awakening, we're still dependent on that. We're still dependent on the language. That's our connection to people, is the language. Language is, every single word is an archetype. Every single word has an attached meaning to it. Think about it. All it is different sounds that we make with our mouth that and come out of our that mean different things. Each word has different syllables, and it all means something different. Think how complex our minds are, how genius our minds are, that there's a series of sounds, and we speak so fast. I could speak 100 words in a minute or more, and the person that is conceiving the receiving understands that, oh, that sequence of sounds means this. Think about how we do it automatically. We don't think about it, but think about how genius it is. How our minds are so complex that we can understand all of these things. Think about people that play music, that can play an instrument. It's a whole new language. And so we have this container. Our soul gets this container to have this experience with, and we collect information and influence. And in that, we are taking all of the information and knowledge, and we are expanding it. Even what we are doing today, with the language, we didn't create the language. The language has been here for thousands of years. Our ancestors started creating sounds and communication between, and created the wheel, which then was created into a carriage, which was then created into an automobile. So we're constantly taking information and expanding it and expanding it and expanding it, and each one of us individually is adding our part into it, because we are into the collective, because we are, each of us, an independent individual that has never been before us, never will be again. We are filters of the universe. Information comes from the ethers, comes through us, comes through other people, comes through TV, comes through our experiences that we have with people, with what we're doing in life. We start making something, we have a new idea, we bring it out into the world. So we're constantly taking information, processing it through this filter, right? We have the soul, which is the experiencer, which is the witness, right? That our soul is a witness. It's witnessing everything. And then we have the ego with all the archetypes in it, which is like our filter of how all this information comes through us. And then we emit the information how we see it. And so we bring new ideas and we bring new expansion. And each and every one of us experiences things and sees different aspects that are relevant to us. And each and every one of us was created. First of all, we have a nature that we were born with, a natural born nature. And then we have the all of the experiences that have created who we are and how we view the world, and that's where we also got all the traumas from, and all the things that we need to shed, all of the where we get our minds stuck in certain areas, and the things that we're shedding during this spiritual awakening. And so as we rise, and as we rid ourselves from all, come back to this pure consciousness as much as we can, being in the now. Think about it. Our soul is always in the now. We have our pure essence is only a spectator, is the witness. We have a witness that is our pure essence. And the closer we get to that pure essence, which, if you think about it, it's really simple. It's get out of your mind and get into the now. Whatever is relevant, work on what is relevant to you. And we don't need to know our entire path from where we are. It's just like we don't need to eat all the food we're going to eat. Abraham Hicks, I've heard her say that. You don't need to eat right now all of the food that you're going to need to eat, and you don't need to store it all. You trust that it's going to come to you as you proceed in life. And it's just the same. It's the same with trusting the universe, that you are in the right place. You are in the only place that you can be right now, given everything in your life that has happened up to this point. You are in the only place, and you are in the exact place that you need to be. You cannot be in a different place. And we don't need to know exactly what is going to be on our path from here. What we need to know is what, we kind of want to know where we want to lead our life to, but then let it go and get into the now. Think about it. Our soul is constantly in this existence, is constantly presence. It's all, that's all our soul is an experiencer, is the viewer of. It's not even the experiencer. The experiencer is already after the ego, because experience is already putting a judgment on something. But the what is above the ego level is only a viewer, is a witness, is just watching everything in pure awe, is just open and in every moment. And every moment goes to the next, and they don't and our spirit, our soul doesn't collect anything from moment to moment. It's just constantly in existence. It's just pure existence. And that is the name of God in Hebrew, is just pure perpetual existence. And so the more that you can come into the now, it's like Eckhart Tolle, I don't, that when you come into the now, you are closest to your soul. You are in the experience. You are in your life. You are. First of all, you're also warping time, because when you're in the now, time isn't relevant. Time is always happening. That is like the river of life has to flow out on something, and you can't stop time. And if you really think about it, and everything is in constant motion in evolution. There is no status. There is static. There is no such thing as static. Even if you think something is solid, you think that this couch is solid. It isn't. It is in constant movement. You cannot stop time. If you stop time, everything falls apart, because everything is in constant motion and movement. There is nothing without movement and vibration. Everything is constantly vibrating. When you quiet your mind, you can see it and you can hear it. And so through this, I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to connect back. Okay. So in this life experience, we don't have to know everything that is going to happen from here out. What we can do to what is the most relevant for us to do is to be in the moment and move with what is relevant to our lives right now, and trust that it's going to lead us down the right path. That everything that, when we try to force something, first of all, we're forcing it into something that we already know, and there's much more unknown to us than there is known. So even if we feel like, oh, I really want this outcome, this is the best outcome, there are so many vast opportunities. There's so many different outcomes that could come that are way further, way more than we could have ever expected, because there's far more that we don't know than what we do know. So it's kind of allowing life to surprise you. And what is going to lead you to where you need to be is being in the relevant place where you need to be right in this moment. So if the most relevant thing in my existence right now is to fold clothes, which it might just be, and put them away so that I have, doing the next logical step will always lead you to the next logical step, to the next logical step. And then after a while, you see that you are on top of and taking inspired action. Inspired action, not forced action. If you're feeling like you're needing to force yourself into doing something, check out what is the reason. Why do you feel like this is forced? Start asking yourself questions. A lot of times our inner selves know that this is not the right path for us, and if we start pushing ourselves down this path, our soul is trying to push us out of it and trying to bring us back to what is our soul path and to what makes our soul happy. And on this spiritual awakening, that's where we're going. We're going to the soul level. The soul is getting its expression through this container. This container is not ours. It belongs to our soul. Our soul is connected to the all, connected to the universe, connected to God. This container is only for this experience. It is, there is, that is what this container was given for. So running after clothes or adorning you could admire your body or your existence. It's part of the game. It's part of the game of life, but not be in a way where you are, what is the word? what is the word where you idealize or idolize the physical, because the physical is here to enhance the what is not physical. It is here to give the experience. It's here for contrast. If there was no physical, there wouldn't be contrast for you to experience this life through. And the physical is everything that's already in existence. It's dreams already made. There's far more in the non-physical than there is in the physical. The physical is the end point. The physical is when all of the idea came into this massive cloud, and it was inspiration in the beginning, and then it came through, the unformed matter, and you brought it in, and then you at the very last point, like the very, very last point, is into the physical. So whatever is already physical is already an idea spent. It's already something that came to be. So the majority of humanity is running around in the physical and forming something from the physical, taking something physical and forming it into. This is a very, very, very narrow way of manifestation, because there's way more not in existence than there is in existence. And everything that comes into the physical world first came from the non-physical. So forming things only from the physical, taking and moving matter from here to there, taking a tractor and moving it, is the slowest way and the hardest and most difficult way of manifesting. The easiest way of manifesting is bringing something down from an idea, from, when you have this, if you've ever had like the spectacular idea, and it comes out of nowhere, and once you have the idea and the idea is all the way cooked, bringing it into the physical is just like it's like taking a magic wand and going jing, because when it's already all worked out in the ethers, it's already all put together, the idea and everything is already formed, then bringing it into the physical is a snap. There's always a way. You can always find a way. There's so many different ways to achieve the same goal. And going back to the passing over into the Garden of Eden is and everything is relevant, right? Because all of these layers of existence, from the very, very dense layers of the physical world, right, of the satanic world, right? Satan is in the physical world. It's not and this is something that my twin taught me, that it is not diabolic, I think the word is, maybe that it's not an evil. The things of satanic world are things of the physical world, are things that they are in physical form. So this would be the realm of Satan. This would be the realm. And all of the different existences exist simultaneously on this platform. So you can go from living in hell to living in Eden, all on this same platform. It depends on which dimension, which state of mind. It depends on how far you have evolved as a being as to where you're living. And you get to decide. You get to decide. And you can decide. It can be as easy as a decision. And you don't have to know all the way there how to get there. You can just say, I want that, and that is going to be my objective. And you will see that when it really resonates in you and you really believe, and that is really what you want, how you start overcoming things from the place that you are in each moment. See, everybody's path is different, because everybody is located in a completely different state of mind, a completely different place. And so there is no one path. It's not like I can give somebody my exact map. Everybody is creating it. That's why they say the pathless path, because everybody is creating their own path. There's so many ways to get to the same point. If I want to go to Tiberias from here, I can walk the mountain that way. I can go that way. I can take the road. I can go up all the way around. And there's so many ways to get to the same objective. There's so many ways to get to the same place. And passing into this Eden, I'm going to go ahead and try to bring it back. So passing into this state of Eden also has to do with, it's also relevant to the power of creation, because as you pass through, first of all, it's like you're going into a new level, and then everything under that level, everything in the from there under becomes very obvious and very clear. It's like pulling out of the matrix and being able to see the matrix from the top. And then you're not in there and rushing and going around and standing in traffic, and you're able to look at it from a vantage point where you see it as a game. It's like moving chess pieces around. Okay, wait a minute. If I need, it's like moving energy instead of exerting energy. It's like moving others' energy, or the energy of, it's like seeing some kind of puzzle that you have to solve from the top. Oh, this is my objective. Okay, how do I get that objective? You start working backwards. Okay, well, da, 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 da. And then you can see into the matrix from like a bird's eye view, and you can move things around. So then you're playing with energy rather than playing with your own time and running after things that don't matter, like money, or I understand. I get it. Money is a means. It allows you to have more freedom. But when you look at money as the objective, it becomes more difficult. Whereas, have you ever noticed that when you just get into your flow, that money starts coming to you because you're in the right place? Then the universe is giving you back abundance. It's like that flow that I was talking about in a previous video that I did, about allowing the flow of abundance. I don't remember. It was maybe on manifesting, one of the videos on manifesting, one of the videos on flow. Everything is so connected and intertwined that everything is connected to everything. Everything is relevant to everything. So passing into the Garden of Eden, when you start passing through, it's like passing through this portal. And the matrix have a very, very strong pull, because it's like if you would see like a magnet. It's a big mass of people and consciousness that is a vibration that you were in. So you know the vibration well. So your vibration can connect to that vibration very easily. And then you become, it's a draw. It can draw you in, and it can pull you back out. So as you move into the Eden and as you pass through this portal, it's very important to allow yourself to cleanse yourself from outer experiences. That means like news, you know um, really watch your energy, watch what you allow, watch what conversations you allow yourself even to have, watch your choice of words, so that you can pass through into the Eden and anchor yourself in there with a total knowing. And in being anchored in that place, you have that is the most that you can contribute to the world. You can't contribute to the matrix by being in the matrix and mucking in the muck with them. If you pull yourself out into this higher vibration and hold yourself there and anchor yourself there, then you can be a beacon of light for others to pass through. It's like you're holding the portal open for others to pass through. You don't allow your consciousness to go back down to that level, but those who want to rise, you can help them rise up to, you can be a point of light. You can be an example of what it looks like to sit outside of the matrix, and then you can be a in that way you can be like what is the word that I'm looking for? It's like being a beacon of light. It's like being an example. It's like being a way shower. It's like showing the way to what a different kind of existence looks like. and how you can be. It's a potential. It's showing people potential and holding that portal open for them so that they have an example of what it looks like, so that they have an example of what the Eden looks like. So that's it. I'm going to sum it up here. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it.